Wait a minute. What are you guys?
Well, who are you?
Ocho, the detective. Keep your voice down. Is this old Mrs. Peyton's house? That's right, sir. Everything quiet?
As peaceful as a grave, sir.
Then he can't have got here yet.
Who, sir?
The tiger.
The tiger? Down here in Peckham?
One of my knocks blew the gaff. He's after Mrs. Peyton's jewelry. If he gets inside, he'll use his garrote on it. We'll surround the house. If you catch him, there's promotion in it. But don't try to handle him alone. Remember, he's the most dangerous killer in London. Does it? He got their pulse. Quick, man, we'll run round to the back door. Easy to break in. You wait here. Skerritt, you wait with him.
I live well with the sergeant's traps on the arm.
Better catch the tiger first. Better draw your truncheon. Trust this, Bob. If we aren't careful, he'll give us a slip.
He won't get away. Not with me on the job.
There's nothing like being confident. I'll go and watch the side door.
I'm not afraid of that tiger.
This is where he came from. Quick! He's out there! Garroted. Joe Skerritt, my old friend. This is the tiger's work. Bear witness, I swear, that sooner or later I'll meet the tiger face to face, and then it'll be my turn. You'll have to answer to me. Have you any objection if I sit at your table, sir?
Not the least in the world, sir.
Fine evening.
Delightful.
Anything to report?
Nothing of importance, Chief. One or two rum cards here by the look of them.
This is the place for rum cards. Any trace of the cove we're after?
The tiger? No, Chief. But then I don't even know what he looks like.
As well as anyone else, except the poor devils he's garroted, and they're always beyond...
Good evening, sir.
Evening. As you were saying, it's certainly a seasonable weather for this time of the year.
Any orders, sir?
I'll have a sherry cobbler. You care to join me, sir?
No, thank you, sir. I make it a rule never to drink with strangers. No offense, sir.
Certainly not. Good rule, too.
One sherry cobbler, sir.
Thank you.
Miss May Edwards will be singing from the rotunda shortly, sir. I hope you can wait. You mustn't miss her.
I don't miss much as a rule.
Any business while I've been gone, Sam?
No, Grandma.
Then what's that fellow cigar smoke?
Last customer, Grandma.
You said there hadn't been any business.
It's our cigars, Grandma. They last.
Oh, they does they? Now, I'm going for a glass of stout with Mrs. Maltby. And you just behave yourself while I've gone.
Any orders, sir?
Why should I give orders? I can't listen to the fan.
Rule of the house, sir. Must have a drink if you're going to sit in the garden.
Run away and play with the cat.
There's another rum card.
Don't look at him. Just keep on talking.
Oh, it's you, Mr. Moss. You know, you can't sit in my gardens and listen to my bands unless you buy something.
Who says so?
I do.
Public house, isn't it?
Oh, not so public as all that. Now, what's it to be, sir?
Fine to beer, a tuppenny one.
The tuppenny beer's sentence now, sir.
Then I'll only have a half a pint. See what you've done to putting up the price? Lost a halfpenny.
Bring him a beer and see if he pays for it before he touches it.
Seen the old man over here by himself, Chief?
Melodrama, pawnbroker and moneylender on the surface.
And what under the surface?
Deceiver of stolen property, forger, counterfeiter.
And why don't we take him up?
Can't get a line on him, not yet.
Not worth flimping, eh? Don't shout that name out here. Why do you come here? It is dangerous. And sitting by me, too. You're...
Any orders, sir?
Yes, my friend here is anxious to stand me a bottle of sherry.
Sherry? No.
Oh, well, have it your own way. Make it champagne. Dry.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. I'll cancel the beer order, sir.
Shut it out, I say. Joke's a joke, but champagne's 10 and 6 a pop.
Well, not serious, eh? Life taking a serious turn. Always do when it's low tide down here.
No ready money, eh?
No, curse it. The crushers are getting too hot. And the nailer's on my track again.
Oh, sure, the detective, you mean, eh? He's here tonight.
I know, I saw him as I walked through the grounds.
Then for why do you come here? It is madness, it is dangerous for me, too.
I don't care about the danger. The whole game is getting too difficult. I'm tired of potching about on the sleep, flimping and smashing when I get the chance. There's no picking up a gentlemanly livelihood nowadays. Hang me if I even haven't thought of turning respectable.
No, but you wouldn't do that. It is great.
Good evening, Maltby.
Oh, good evening, Mr. Gibson. A pleasure to see you, sir.
Thank you.
Have you a table, sir?
I'll find one myself. I see you're very busy.
I'll be with you in a moment, sir. A bottle of the usual, sir?
That'll suit me admirably.
Very good, sir. There. Though I say it shouldn't, there isn't a better bottle to be opened in the whole of London. The same as I always serve Mr. Gibson with.
Who is Mr. Gibson?
The gentleman I've just been talking to. The richest bill broker in the city of London. And if he doesn't know a good bottle of wine, nobody does. And only 10 and 6. There's a colour. There's a bouquet.
Okay, you call it. Well, for a price like that, I ought to have a whole flower garden. It's probably got my bottle of wine. Okay.
Here he is, Governor. Here, what's this be? Why aren't you carrying on with your work?
What do you want to make us work with jailbirds for?
Who's the jailbird? He is. What's this mean, Jackson?
Well, so you see, I was... No lies now. Come on, we know the truth.
He's a ticket to leave, man. Is this true?
Yes. Well, we're not working with jailbirds, and that's flat.
And I'm not employing them either. Now go and get your hat and coat and clear out.
Give me a chance, sir. I'm trying to go straight.
Here are your wages. Now get out.
Why don't you give me a chance, sir? You're driving me back to crime.
I've got my reputation to think of, same as these boys here. I'll only deal with honest people. Now get out. Now, boys, attend to your customers, and I promise you such a thing will never happen again.
I don't, Governor.
That's what happens when people's bill try to be respectable. But they, nil desperados. This is about as all that. Wait till I show you what I've got. The beautifulest bunch of Bank of England flimsies that ever came out of Birmingham. Yes, listen to the crackle.
Never mind about that. Let's have a look at them.
Every one of them's got the watermark. Why, the governor of the Bank of England wouldn't know the difference. Safe is paper to work, cheap, dirt cheap, and you can have credit till you planted it.
Yes, and if I'm nabbed, it means a lifer.
Oh, wants you to plant it. Plenty of flats about help you to plant it, and it's cheap. 2.10 for a tenner.
That's your price, you can keep them.
No, now, they can't do business like gentlemen. What's your offer?
15 shillings for a tenner.
15 shillings a day, like that.
Take it or leave it.
Well, make it 25 for.
15 shillings.
Oh, a guinea, then. 21 shillings.
You heard what I said.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have the pleasure to introduce Miss May Edwards, whom you all know so well. Miss May Edwards.
That's the business that interests me.
And that girl, that singing girl, you're not still hankering after her?
I've been here night after night just for the pleasure of listening to her.
But you haven't even spoken to her, have you?
No, up to now I've had to be content with listening to her. But tonight...
You must be mad. I can understand you're risking everything to come here for these. That's business.
I'll sing this song, this sing of land with sunlit sky. Let the bright sing and heart sing. Together we dream now and I of gardens all fragrant with flowers, with roses rich and rare, where blossoming orange boughs shall cheer us wandering there, where blossoming orange boughs river thin. But of the twilight hushing, while stars are asleep o'erhead, there walked out that rosy flame to nest in forests above, where balmy winds are sighing to kiss thy lips, my love, where balmy winds are sighing to kiss thy lips,
Leave that champagne alone.
That's what's mine. I paid for it, didn't I?
Yes, but the girl's going to drink it.
But look here, they'll gave me 5 shillings to their share of the bottle.
Looks as though I've arrived at the right moment.
I wasn't expecting you.
I had to come. I got some news for you.
Good news?
Well, come sit down. I've been made personal clerk to purser. Means a rise in salary.
Oh, how wonderful, Bob.
Good prospects, too. I can really regard myself as settled down now. I'm in a good position.
Oh, darling, I always knew you'd succeed.
Got something else to tell you, too.
Your order, sir?
Yes? A bottle of champagne.
Bob, how extravagant.
Tonight we celebrate. You'll know why in a minute. Quick, man, fetch the champagne.
Very good.
Not tonight, any day.
Shut up, damn you, shut up.
I can't wait any longer. What was it you wanted to tell me?
Look,
What are they?
5 brand new Bank of England £10 notes.
But where did you get them from?
The bank itself, they're my savings. Now we're going to spend it on buying our furniture.
Oh, Bob.
Well, my position's secure, and now I know I can support you in the way I'd wish to. We'll get a little house somewhere down Peckham way, I thought. And here's the furniture. Take them down. Rustle them in your fingers. All our worldly possessions held in the hollow of your hand.
It all seems too good to be true. Are you sure it isn't a dream?
He said it was quick. They're calling for another song.
Oh, Bob, you'll have to excuse me.
Of course, you must give them an encore in your farewell night.
Quick, Miss Edwards, come along, please.
I'll come and stand underneath you, and you can sing it to me.
To see all those lovely flimsies going away from me, not the Schneid ones from Birmingham, but the real ones from the bank. It breaks me heart. It breaks me heart.
Quick, give me 5 of your flimsies.
Give you 5?
I'll pay for them. 15 shillings each.
16 shillings is the lowest.
Don't be a fool. I've got a plan.
But it is.
Do as I tell you. I'll get his money and get his girl. And he'll get the chuck.
Sounds a pretty plan. What do I do?
Quick, hand me over the notes.
There's my 350.
I'll owe you that.
Let you happen for 16 shillings. I don't get the cash.
You'll get the cash when I get the cash. Now listen to me carefully. Beautiful voice, sir. If you allow me to say so. Very beautiful girl.
Glad to think so.
Didn't I see you in her company a little while ago?
That's right. We're engaged to be married.
Oh, my very sincere congratulations.
Thank you very much indeed. I appreciate your courtesy.
Don't mention it. Perhaps you'd reciprocate by giving me a lucifer.
Certainly.
Thank you. I'm afraid the cigar is finished. I'll get a fresh one. And then perhaps you'll oblige me with another match.
Sir.
Now, come along, out of here.
But, sir, I've just seen...
I don't care what you've seen. I'll have no jailbirds in my garden. Now, clear out.
Curses, I haven't a cigar on me.
Afraid I haven't either. We can get one at the store. Will you permit me to buy you one, sir, so you can smoke our health?
I shall be honored. Thank you very much.
Good evening.
Same to you, many of them.
Keep any good cigars?
We don't keep them, we sell them.
What do you recommend?
Same as what I always smoke. Have a whiff.
Gentleman evidently has a nice taste in tobacco.
How much?
Twopence each to you.
To anyone else?
4 for shilling.
Smart, aren't you?
Got to be with your own business.
How many for 5 bob?
20 and 1 to smoke as you go.
Grab 'em up.
All right, Mr. Rothschild.
You say you suspect this young man of being in the possession of forged banknotes.
That's all right, Mr. Hawkshaw.
Why do you think they're forged? Did you see them?
That's the way you handle them. It's only a suspicion, Mr. Hawkshaw. I wouldn't know about such things.
There you are, sir.
Thank you.
And 1 to smoke as you go.
Oh, thanks very much.
Crikey, what's that?
It's a £10 note.
Young gentleman has evidently never seen a tenner before.
Who says I haven't seen one?
Oh, then you won't mind changing that.
Change anything here.
What are you expecting to get out of this month?
Me, Mr. Hawkshaw? Nothing but some air.
And why did you come to me?
Well, I'm a respectable citizen. I love law and order. And if he's a forger, well, he's a criminal.
We'll go and see. Don't collect Wilkins and Johnson. They're somewhere in the garden.
Yes, sir.
Now, sir, would you have a cigar? Hello, where's the gentleman gone to?
I don't know. I was counting the change.
Oh, well. Good evening.
Good evening.
Who's about here?
Me.
No evidence. Who's in charge of this store?
My grandma, but I'm boss.
You just served a gentleman with some cigars.
Sold him 20 tuppenny cigars for threepence each. Gotta get up early to catch me.
Did he pay you for them?
Think I let him get away with that? No flies on me.
How did he pay you?
£10 Bank of England note. Didn't count his change either.
Let me see it.
For why?
I'm Hawkshaw, the detective.
Crikey.
10 and 6, please.
All right, pour the wine out.
Must have the money first, sir.
Oh, you think I can't pay for it, do you? All right, let me change for that.
I beg your pardon, sir.
It's a bad and all right, Rumberton. We've been following this up for weeks past.
You mean to say it ain't worth £10?
It's not worth 10 pence.
What's going on here?
Quick, Grandma, it's awful. You've been robbed.
We've got him red-handed. The banknote forger, boys. Come on.
Pretty little plot done. Very nicely done.
There goes the nailer with his mans.
In a moment now, they'll nab him.
You'll be the one they'll nab if I say what I saw.
Who are you?
Never mind.
I saw you. What are you talking about?
I saw you pick that young Spark's pocket and take his money, and I want half.
Come, be reasonable. We'll soon settle this matter like gentlemen.
Half the money, those are my terms. Pay it now.
Very well. Just step inside the arbor, and we'll soon come to terms. Here you are, son. Thank you very much.
Keep your money. Arrest that man.
What's all this about? Who are you?
I'm Hawkshaw, the detective. And I arrest you for passing and uttering forged notes.
This is absurd. I got these notes in the bank myself.
I thought so. All forgeries.
Well, mine. What's happened to mine? It's gone. It's been stolen. Somebody must have planted them on me.
You won't get away with that old story.
That man whose cigar I lit. I've got to find that man.
Hold him.
Let me go. Let me go.
Hold him, whatever you do.
No, but I've got to find that man. He's taken my money. Let me go.
Run it. The tiger's here. Straight man. Tiger, he'll still be in these gardens. See if he doesn't get away.
Make way, please. Lady painted. Make way there. Lady painted. Make way there.
Rob the right. That's him.
Right ahead.
Well, very pretty work. Very good work, boys. I think we've done sufficient for tonight, and now we'll knock off. If you do so well as this, well, I really will have to consider giving you a bonus.
Thank you, John.
Thank you. Not a cash one, of course. Half a day's holiday, perhaps. Well.
Quick, all of them, the side door, quick. Quick. Who it is there?
Open the door.
Tiger, for why do you come here?
The nailer's been after me again.
Yes, and you come here and he will follow you, and so you make it the troubles for me, oi.
Don't you worry. Nobody's followed me here.
Yes, London is getting too warm for you. You will have to make it escape somewhere.
You think I'm going to let the nailer and his gang drive me out?
You will have to. You are getting too bold. Oh, I know you have to strangle people, but don't let it spoil my business.
Yes, I have been too bold. Now I'm going to be cunning. Listen, Melter, I've got a plan.
Is it a safe one?
The safest plan in the world. Up to now, I've earned my profits by my own activities and taken all risks. But from now on, others shall do the work for me and take the risks. But I'll take the profits, as before.
Profits? Now you're talking business. What is this wonderful plan?
Listen, Melter, listen. From now on, the tiger is going to disappear. And in his place will emerge the sanctimonious Mr. Pybus and the Good Samaritan Help Society. The Good Samaritan Help Society keeps in close touch with those poor unfortunate outcasts who are released from Her Majesty's prison on ticket of leave. The sole object of the society is to meet them and to help to guide their footsteps in the right way.
I'm so glad to have found you, Mr. Pybus. Of late years, I have been worrying as to how to dispose of my fortune when I'm gone. And now you have helped me.
In helping you, dear lady, I am helping others.
How true. How very true. Here is a small contribution to the funds of your society.
Dear lady, your kindness overpowers.
And here is the address of my lawyers. My will is in their keeping. I've altered it so that every penny of my fortune will be given to your society when I am gone. You will know whom to apply to when the time comes.
Dear lady, I hope that will be many years yet.
I doubt it. I have a weak heart, and my physician tells me that any sudden shock might prove too much for me. And life's so full of shocks.
Ah, yes. Yes.
You rang, Mr. Pybus?
Yes, Solomon. I want you to conduct Mrs. Montgomery to her carriage.
Goodbye, dear Mr. Pybus. And thank you so much.
Goodbye, dear lady. And thank you so much.
This way, madam.
Thank you.
Ugly.
You called, Mr. Pybus?
Yes. You saw the lady who was in here just now?
Yes.
Her name is Mrs. Montgomery of 138 Montpelier Avenue. Any sudden shock will kill her. I want you to conceal yourself outside her house. And when she comes out, just meet her and smile. Yes, just like that. And if that doesn't put paid to her account, we'll think of something else.
Well, leave it to me, Governor.
Did you touch her, Tiger?
Yes, a check for £100. And we're in her will for the lot when she croaks.
I hope she won't last too long.
She won't. I've seen to that.
It's a beautiful business, Tiger, beautiful business. Have I the brains to think of it?
You think of it. The whole idea was the child of my brain.
Well, we both got brains, haven't we, Tiger? That's what's the matter with us.
Who have you got in today?
Now, the Larry Slink.
Slink? Oh, yes. That's the lad who got 6 months for picking pockets, eh? How's he shaping?
Oh, he'll be all right, but there's still a nasty streak of honesty in him.
You mean he still wants to go straight?
So he says.
Oh, we'll soon cure him of that. Find him a job. Let him get comfortably settled down. And then tell his boss he's been released from prison on ticket of leave. He'll be sacked immediately. Then he'll be right for our purpose.
That's right, Tiger. That's right.
But I want a really promising man for the biggest job we've tackled yet.
What job have you got in mind?
At Gibson, the city bill brokers. They say he often has as much as £10,000 at a time in his safe.
10,000? You make me mouth water.
I want a really first-class man in there to spy out the land.
An educated type would be the best.
Yes, that's right.
And what about that young Bob Brierly chap? I'd you out at any time.
No, not him.
But why not, Tiger? He's just the very type.
I have other plans for him.
Oh, Tiger.
I tell you, I'll have no dealings with him.
As soon as he's out, he's going back again. And this time for a life sentence. Come in.
Ladies to you, Mr. Pybus.
What name?
Miss Edwards.
Show her in.
That girl again. You've been chasing her ever since Bob Brierly went inside. And where's it got you? Nowhere.
I'll trouble you not to interfere with my business.
All right, Tiger, all right. No offense. But don't let pleasure interfere with business.
Miss Edwards, sir.
How is my little May today?
Very well, thank you, Mr. Pybus.
That'll be all, Solomon. You may go. Now, you spare me a little kiss.
Why, of course. Oh, I didn't think you meant that sort of kiss.
I've taken it nonetheless. Surely my little May isn't frightened of me.
Why, of course not, Mr. Pybus.
Why should you be? Haven't I done everything in my power to help you and to make you happy?
You know how grateful I am.
Is gratitude the only feeling in your heart? Isn't it possible to feel something a little warmer? Affection, even love.
Oh, please, don't make it difficult for me.
Is it so difficult then to declare your love?
Mr. Pybus, I hate to have to say this, but you must be content with my gratitude.
And supposing I'm not content?
You will have to be.
You mean your heart belongs to another?
Yes.
You trying to tell me you're still in love with that jailbird, Bob Brierly?
Yes.
Are you content to tie yourself up for life to a convicted forger?
He was never a forger. Those notes were put in his pocket by the worst criminal in London, the Tiger.
How do you know that?
I'm sure of it. And when Bob comes out of prison, he knows I'll marry him.
Forgive me, little May. Such depth of feeling is indeed unexpected in one so young.
There's nothing to forgive. I shall always be grateful for all your kindness to me.
And I could at least draw comfort from the fact that I may remain your friend.
Of course.
And to prove it, should Bob Brierly find difficulty in securing work on his release from prison, the good officers of this society are always at his disposal. And now, surely, just one more little kiss.
Mr. Pybus.
What is it, Solomon?
A message, Mr. Pybus. Just come in.
Number 43, sir.
Number 43, Robert Brierly.
Yes, sir.
From now on, you are number 43 no longer, but Robert Brierly once more. I have received instructions from the Home Office to release you instantly on ticket of leave. You have worked hard while you've been here. Your character has been excellent, and this is your reward.
Thank you, sir.
I wish you all the luck. And here is a little present for you from the government. £10.
£10.
Your earnings in the workshop and allowance. Now be careful with it. Spend it wisely and well.
Well, thank you, sir. I shall never forget your kindness to me.
Give my kindest regards to your future wife.
I beg your pardon, sir?
Don't forget I've had to censor your letters. I hope you haven't forgotten her new address.
No, sir. 21 Hammond Street. That's my first call.
Good day, Mrs. Willoughby.
Oh, hello, dearie. Come for your smalls.
Yes.
I'm afraid they ain't ready yet.
Oh, well, don't bother. I'm in no hurry for them.
But I am. If I don't get these finished, I'll be short of my rent. Then what'll Mr. Gibson say?
Oh, he won't mind. He's the kindest man I know, and the best landlord.
Why shouldn't he be kind? They say he's one of the richest men in the city. Let him wait for his money.
You hold your tongue. Because Mr. Gibson's kind and honest, that's all the more reason we should be honest with him.
What you want is a nice cup of tea. Come along and sit down. Sam, run round to the shop and get a quarter, will you?
What's your...
And mind it's tea you buys, not cigars.
Does Miss May Edwards live here?
No.
Are you sure?
Of course I am. No one lives here. There only lodgers like me and my grandma.
Then does Miss Edwards lodge here?
That's more like it. Yes, she does. Think you'll know me again?
Haven't I met you somewhere before?
Now then, don't come any of that confident stuff with me. I wasn't born yesterday.
The day before, perhaps.
You wait till I see you again. Then I'll have an answer ready for you.
come in. Bob.
May.
So here's your brother got back at last.
Brother.
Yes, my brother Robert.
Well. Let's have a look at you. I don't know anywhere that you two was related. Pleased to meet you, Mr. Edwards.
Edwards? Oh, how do you do?
This is my friend, Mrs. Willoughby, Bob.
I've heard all about you from your sister. So you've got your discharge.
What?
Yes, from Her Majesty's service.
Yes, I've been working for Her Majesty for some time past now.
You never told me, dearie. Was it the Army or the Navy?
Well, it wasn't either.
Then it would be the Marines.
Oh, yes, the Marines.
That's right.
Now, ain't that strange? My husband was in the Marines. A quartermaster sergeant he was. It was him as took over the tobacco stall just before he died. Little did he think his wife had come down to wash him. But I was robbed, Mr. Edwards, through passing a £10 note for a young man.
What?
A forged note it was, not worth the paper it was written on, and the landlord turned me out of the stall.
Where was this?
In the Bellevue Gardens.
There's the tea, and you'll want it at the back door, Grandma. More washing. Hello, there you are again, eh?
Can't you come into the room respectable?
I can when there's respectable folk in it.
That settles it. Now you come downstairs and fetch that washing. How dare you talk to a gentleman like that?
Darling, at last. If you only knew how I've waited for this moment. Why did you tell them I was your brother?
If they'd known your real name, I was afraid they might find out.
It's lucky they haven't anyhow.
Oh, darling, don't let's talk about them. Let's talk about ourselves. We've got plans to make. We can get married straight away.
Well, I must get a job first.
We'll soon find one.
I've got £10.
Oh, that's wonderful. Where did it come from?
All my earnings in the workshops, my allowance.
Oh, that'll tide you over.
May, I can't use that money.
Why not?
Because it doesn't belong to me.
But I thought you said...
It belongs to Mrs. Willoughby.
What do you mean?
Don't you realize that I'm responsible for all her troubles? It was I who changed that forged note at her stall. The least I can do now is to make reparation. Bring me some paper and an envelope, quickly.
I have a bill that I wish to descant.
Drawn on whom, sir?
Van Zeller and Company.
Of finance?
You know them?
Oh, very well, sir. We never had any fear of anything drawn on Van Zeller and Company.
Neither had I.
And for references, sir, your name?
Theophilus Wake of Wake Brothers, Morfingers, Limehouse, Dock Street, Liverpool.
Will you sign this receipt, sir?
You have very beautiful offices here.
Mr. Gibson is a man of taste, sir.
Must be a great privilege to work for such a firm.
It is, sir.
You seldom have any vacancies, I suppose.
Oh, very seldom, sir.
I was wondering, a friend of mine runs a charitable institution in which I take a very great interest. I was hoping to get Mr. Gibson's support.
If I may ask, sir, what is it?
It's an institution to help those poor unfortunates out of ticket of leave from Her Majesty's prisons to earn honest employment.
Ex-convicts.
Why do you say that?
Well, sir, with so much money about, it would be such a temptation.
Of course, with so much money about.
You will appreciate, sir, it is a matter for Mr. Gibson.
Oh, quite.
Unfortunately, he is out this afternoon, visiting his tenants and pensioners.
And how's my little friend, May Edward?
Good afternoon, Mr. Gibson. This is my brother Robert.
How do you do? I'm glad to meet you. And if I may say so, you're a lucky man to have such a sister.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon.
Oh, Mr. Gibson, could I speak to you for a moment?
Certainly, my dear.
Just as I thought. We're 3 shillings short of the rent.
Just as I thought. Mr. Gibson will have to wait for his money.
I don't know what we're going to do.
He's here, Grandma. He's talking to May Edwards on the doorstep.
Oh dear. We must put this room to rights. Quick, Sam, you give me a hand. Whatever's this?
Oh, it's gold.
10 good golden sovereigns. But where did it come from?
Here's a letter with it.
You read it, Sam. I haven't got my specs.
For Mrs. Willoughby, repayment of an old debt.
You want a job in my office? Well, I've no real vacancy. But if I can't make one for the brother of my little friend here...
Do you mean that, sir?
You'll have to start as our job man. See, I've no knowledge of your capabilities. But if you serve the Queen, you're good enough to serve me. You won't find me a hard taskmaster, as I'm sure your sister knows.
Oh, I do indeed, Mr. Gibson.
On one point I'm adamant. I must have honesty. And I'm quite sure you're honest.
I am.
I'll not tolerate deceit in any form whatsoever. Any man who deceives me does so once only. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
I'll not bother to take up your references. My instincts tell me I can trust you.
Thank you, sir.
You're Robert Edwards, late of the Queen's Royal Marines, and brother of my little friend here. That's good enough for me. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, my dear.
Look at that. A beautiful bill. You never saw a prettier. There's engraving, there's penmanship for you.
Yes, it's not so bad.
Not so bad, why, it's lifelike. It's even better than the last one. And didn't that one go through?
Yes, they discounted that all right.
Yeah, £225, and I only got £10 for it.
Yes, but I took the risk. And I didn't succeed in finding out much either.
Yes, you took the £225, too. There's a profit.
She's safe. I'm after.
There's nothing like picking up a few hundreds in the meantime.
No, it's too much of a risk to try it again.
Risk? There's no risk, I tell you, if you're quick enough. Besides, Penang's a long way off, you know. It's too far away for them to have heard of the other one yet.
Are you sure?
Sure, I've worked it all out. The mail 4 days from now at the earliest, so you see there's no risk at all. A beautiful bill, a beautiful bill. And I'm only £100 to you.
I'll give you 20.
Did I hear what you said?
£20, take it or leave it.
You break me heart, Tiger. I'd sooner present it myself.
Very well, do so. Off you go.
Oh, now, wait a minute. You know, I only deal in real paper myself. £25, I think, you see.
£20.
Oh, dear, it's a robbery. But then you're my friend, aren't you? All right, take it. Too much heart, you know. That's what's the matter with me. Too much heart.
Yes, that's what's the matter with you, Melta. Well, no time like the present. I'll go round before the office closes.
Come in. Ah, Edward. Very man I wanted to see. You've been with me some time now. Are you quite happy?
Yes, sir, very.
So am I. I want you to know how delighted I am with your work.
Thanks, sir.
In every respect, you've proved exactly what I anticipated May Edwards' brother would turn out to be.
I'm glad, sir.
I've therefore decided to make you my confidential clerk. Apart from the increase in salary, the post carries with it serious responsibilities.
I should do my best to undertake them, sir.
I know you will.
Oh, here's a letter for you, sir. It's franked by one of Her Majesty's steamers, and it's urgent.
Penang? What can be urgent about that? Pancella and Co. Good heavens.
Nothing wrong, I hope.
Indeed there is. £225 wrong.
I don't understand, sir.
I've been swindled. Swindled by discounting a forged bill. Who are these Wake brothers of Liverpool? Who's this Theophilus Wake?
I don't know, sir.
Make it your business to find out.
Yes, certainly.
I'll leave the matter entirely in your hands. Investigate it to the full, even though it means working late tonight. And remember, we must find this Mr. Theophilus Wake at all costs.
Yes, sir.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, sir. Good night.
Oh, my dear, you come to fetch your brother home?
Yes, Mr. Gibson.
I'm afraid he'll be working late tonight. But I know he'd like a word with you. He's some good news for you.
Hello, May.
Hello, boss. I thought we might walk home together, but I hear you're working late.
Yes, and I've got some very important work to do, too.
Shall I wait for you?
I should be some time. No, you'd better go home.
What was the important news Mr. Gibson was telling me about?
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. He's been so good to both of us. Now, on top of everything, he's appointed me his confidential clerk. But every time he calls me Edwards, I feel I ought to tell him the truth.
I know it's my fault, but I was so afraid that...
I know, dear, I know.
It isn't anything very dreadful, is it?
It is to us. How can we be married? Openly, that is. We've got to go on lying. Lying.
When you've been here a little longer and you've proved yourself to him in this responsible position, then you can tell him.
Everything?
Why not? You'll have proved yourself.
You don't know how this secret's been weighing on me.
Oh, poor darling. Don't worry and don't work too hard.
Good night, Nick.
Good night.
Am I too late?
I'm sorry, sir. The office is just closing.
I hope I don't intrude. I couldn't help seeing your last interview. But there. Why shouldn't a young man bill and coo when he's in a bill broker's office? Oh, forgive me, my little joke.
That lady was my sister, sir.
Really? I know idea relatives were so affectionate. She's a very beautiful girl. I congratulate you.
Is there anything I can do for you, sir?
That depends on who you are.
Well, I'm Mr. Gibson's confidential clerk.
Very young man for such a responsible position. Does that entitle you to act as cashier?
Well, no.
Pity, great pity. I have a bill I wish to discuss.
How large, may I ask?
A matter of £400.
May I ask your name, sir?
Certainly. Wake.
Not Theophilus Wake of Liverpool.
Same.
On whom is the bill drawn?
Van Zeller and Company.
Of Penang?
You know them?
Well, who doesn't?
You're a very bright young man. You should go far.
Thank you. I have every hope of making myself very useful to Mr. Gibson.
Good. That is the spirit I like to see.
I'm sorry I can't do anything for you now, but if you'll call back in the morning, everything will be arranged. We open at 9.
I thank you. I will be here shortly after that. Good day.
We shall be waiting for you.
You look worried, Tiger.
I am worried. Who do you think is Gibson's confidential clerk?
Who?
Bob Brierly.
But how did you didn't see him there on your first visit?
I don't know. He must have been out somewhere.
Is he there under his own name?
No, he's posing as May Edwards' brother.
So Gibson doesn't know that he's a convict, a jailbird out on ticket to leave?
Not yet, but I'll spoil that boy's game.
One thing's very certain. You'll never get the girl now.
No, I'll see to that, if necessary.
No, wait a minute. Don't be so hasty. Why should we let your love affairs interfere with our chances?
What chances?
Well, isn't a Confederate inside the office better than 20 that can't get in?
But he's not a Confederate.
Not yet, but we can make him one, can't we, with all we know about him?
You know, Melter, I sometimes think you're a bigger crook even than I am.
Yeah, Tiger, that's the first kind word you've ever spoken to me.
Good morning, Mr. Edwards.
Good morning. Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Edward.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, Mr. Gibson.
Good morning. Everything's prepared, thanks to your information. I'm expecting Mr. Hawkshaw.
Hawkshaw?
The famous detective. You've heard of him?
Yes, sir.
As soon as he comes, bring him into my office.
Very good, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Mr. Gibson in?
Yes, sir. He's only just arrived.
Take in my card, will you?
Yes, sir.
I've seen you before, I think.
I don't recollect you, sir.
I may be wrong, but I have a good memory for faces.
Yes. Will you come this way, sir? Mr. Hawkshaw to see you, sir.
Oh, how do you do, my dear sir? I'm very glad to meet you.
Glad to see you, Mr. Gibson.
Edwards, just go to the chief cashier and find out what's wanted from the bank.
Yes, sir.
One moment. Your bank messenger, sir?
Well, actually, Edwards is my confidential clerk.
Have you had him long?
Several months.
Good character?
Splendid.
You taken up his references?
Oh, no, I took it at his face value.
It's sometimes risky to judge by faces.
Now, that's the difference between businessmen and detectives. We back our own judgment, and you doubt everybody.
We find it the wiser course.
Oh, come, Mr. Hawkshaw. You're not going to tell me you've had Edwards in your hands?
No. He's quite a stranger to me.
Now, all right, Edwards. Won't you sit down?
Thanks. Now, about our friend Theophilus Wake.
You had him through your hands before?
I can't tell that till I see him. But I certainly would like to take a look at the gentleman before we do anything. But I don't want him to see me.
Where would you like to conceal yourself?
No need for concealment. One of those desks in the outer office is the place. Have you any objection?
Certainly not. Come along. The sooner you're in position, the better. He may be here at any moment. How will this do, Mr. Hawkshaw? You'll be able to see everything from here.
I'm not going in there.
But I told you, it's impossible for advices to come from Penang until next week. What are you frightened of? But it is. What's the matter?
You recognize him?
That's Brierly, all right. There, let me grow into a fine boy.
Be a great pity if you remained honest, eh?
Oh, you mustn't do that. You mustn't do that.
Now to business. In you go.
What, me going in? No, it's you that's going in.
You go in first. If there's anything fishy, give me a signal from the door. If I get no signal from you, then I know everything's all right.
Oh, yeah? What a schmozzle.
Good morning, sir. What is your pleasure?
Would I have today's prices for the sight and date bills?
Certainly. Here they are, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, yes. That's all I want, yes. Now I can go and advise my friends. Good day.
Good day.
Detain that man. There's something in the wind.
Can I do anything for you, sir?
No, thank you. I just wanted today's quotation.
I shall be very pleased to show them to you.
Thank you again, but I've seen them.
Now, those you saw are not quite the latest. You come with me and I'll give you the latest quotations. Now, there are yesterday's prices and here are today's. You see, the tendency is quite firm.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Is Mr. Gibson in?
Yes, sir.
I wish to discount a bill.
What name should I say, sir?
Theophilus Wake of Wake Brothers, Liverpool.
Oh, yes.
Yes. I'll just make a note.
As soon as Mr. Gibson is disengaged, I'll tell him.
Thank you.
That's all I want. Thank you.
Not at all.
I very much appreciate all your courtesy.
Pleasure.
And I must thank you very much for all the help you've given me.
Glad to help you at any time, sir.
Thank you. And once more, good day.
Good day.
Do I understand you're Theophilus Wake, sir?
That is the name?
Will you come this way, please?
Certainly. You are Mr. Gibson, I presume.
I am Mr. Gibson.
I'm delighted to meet you, sir. Well, I can quite understand your feelings, but I want you to glance particularly at this bill.
Van Seller and Company.
A very respectable firm, but all is not gold that glitters. I've burnt my fingers once before. You may remember my discounting a bill with you on the same firm some months ago.
I do.
I've now discovered that bill was a forgery.
So have I.
And I am sadly afraid between you and me, I can speak quite openly in front of your friend.
Quite.
I am sadly afraid that this bill is a forgery also. My desire to see you personally this morning was to ask your assistance in helping to track down the forger. And secondly, to repay you the money that you gave me on the first forged bill.
But didn't you give value for it in the first place?
What if I did? If I burnt my fingers, well, the more fool me. That's no reason why you should be the loser. £225, 7 shillings and 3 pence.
Don't bother about the coffers.
Oh, I'm very particular in these small matters.
This is a very pleasant surprise. I must confess I thought I was going to be swindled.
And robbed? Oh, I don't wonder.
Actually, I had a detective here ready to pounce on you.
No, not really.
It's very nice of you to take it that way.
Oh, the only way I can take it, my dear sir.
That's splendid of him, isn't it, Hawkshaw?
Hawkshaw? Not Mr. Hawkshaw, the great detective.
You had a narrow escape, Mr. Wake. I almost had the derbies on you.
Derby?
Handcuffs.
Oh, what intensely interesting little articles. The whole commercial world, sir, owes you a debt of gratitude for what you have done for them.
I do my best, and perhaps I can be of further service. If you'll allow me to have that bill so that I may compare it with other forgeries we have at the yard.
Oh, but certainly.
Now, Mr. Gibson, I think you have no further need for me, so I'll say goodbye.
Goodbye.
I'm glad that everything ended satisfactorily. Goodbye, Mr. Wake, and thank you.
Goodbye, dear Mr. Hawkshaw, and thank you.
So give me a moment, I see Mr. Hawkshaw out.
Oh, certainly.
All's well that ends well, eh, Hawkshaw? I'm much obliged to you. Even though your handcuffs are empty, my pockets are full.
The money from the bank, sir.
Oh, thank you, Edwards. Take it into my office and we'll put it straight in the safe. By the way, you'll find Mr. Theophilus Wake in there.
If I may say so, sir, I expected to see him with Mr. Hawkshaw.
Like us, you are mistaken. Far from trying to swindle us again, Mr. Wake came to repay his former bill, which he's just discovered was a forgery.
And it was a false alarm.
I'm afraid it was. Mr. Wake is that rare thing, a truly honest man.
What are you doing with that key?
Why, if it isn't my little biller and cour of last night. Been out for a walk in the sunshine with your so charming sister.
What are you doing with that key?
That's my business.
And mine, too.
Who are you?
You know perfectly well I'm employed here.
Indeed, I didn't know there was a Robert Brierly in the employ of my friend Mr. Gibson. And I doubt if Mr. Gibson knows it either.
You know me?
Yes, I do. And your sister and your character and your last place of employment.
Never mind about that. I want to know what you're doing with that safe key.
And I want to know if my good friend Mr. Gibson is aware. He's a ticket of leave man in his employ, working under an assumed name.
You're going to tell him?
That depends entirely upon yourself, Robert Brierly. I can be dumb if you can be blind. You get my meaning?
You want to buy my silence?
Don't you want to buy mine?
Oh, my dear sir, forgive me for having deserted you.
Don't mention it, my dear sir. I've been talking to our young friend here. He's had a most interesting career.
Yes, in Her Majesty's Royal Marines.
Yes, so he was saying. I believe he has something to say to you. Isn't that so?
Well, yes, sir, I have. But in private.
Well, then I won't intrude. As a businessman, I know how much is confidential in business matters.
No, don't hurry away, Mr. Wake. I can see him after you've gone.
But it's vital that I should see you now, sir.
A minute or two won't hurt, Edwards.
Anyway, I have my own business to attend to, and I'm late for an appointment already.
I'm very glad to have met you. I hope we'll meet again.
I hope so, too, under different circumstances. In the meanwhile, I wonder if our young friend could call me a hackney coach.
Certainly. Edwards, run and get a hackney coach from Mr. Wake.
But, sir...
No. Don't argue, Edwards. Do as you're told.
Oh, so he calls himself Edwards now, does he?
Yes, that's his name.
Since when?
All his life, I suppose.
Indeed. And what if I were to tell you that until a few months ago, he was known as Robert Brierly, that his number was 43, and his place of residence one of Her Majesty's prisons, where he had been incarcerated for uttering forged notes.
What are you saying?
Hardly a suitable man to employ as a confidential clerk, eh?
You must be mistaken. I've known his sister for 2 years or more. Her name's Edwards, so his must be.
My dear sir, how simple you are. May Edwards is not his sister.
Not his sister?
No. Can't you realize what she is?
His wife?
Oh, no. Certainly not his wife.
How do you know all this?
Unfortunately, I met this young boy and his sister some time ago, under different circumstances. When first I saw him here, I thought he was trying to turn over a new leaf. I always believe in giving everyone a chance. But while I was talking to him just now, this dropped out of his pocket.
What is it?
A wax impression of the key of your safe. See, it fits perfectly. A very old device, my dear sir. The girl gains your confidence, persuades you to let the boy have the run of the offices, so you can get a waxed impression of your safe key.
I don't believe it.
Then ask him for yourself, question him. Here he is. Only call him by his real name.
Your hackney coach is at the door.
Brierly.
So, you've told him?
You admit your name is Brierly?
I do. Oh, I've something to tell you.
1 moment. Have you seen this before?
Why, yes, sir, I have.
Then it's true. You're a jailbird, a ticket of leave man. You lied to me to get this place. You and your so-called sister, May Edwards, have consistently deceived me for months, and now you're planning to rob me.
I had no thought of robbing you, sir. The rest is true, I confess it. But it was not I who took the impression of that key.
Then who was it?
That man Wake. I caught him at a great hand.
Presumably Mr. Gibson would accept my word before that of a ticket of leave man.
You expect me to believe that cock and bull story about a man who's honest enough to return me £225? You stand convicted out of your own mouth, Robert Brierly.
But, sir, I swear before God that I...
Don't add blasphemy to your other crimes. Get out of my sight. Get out of this office at once. And be grateful I haven't handed you over to the police. Get out!
Well?
Everything's fine, Tiger. Everything's splendid. Look what I've got to show you.
What is it?
A snide letter of credit. It's the latest idea in forgery. Nobody but me has ever thought of it before.
I'm not interested in that.
Not interested?
What about Bob Brad?
You've got the sack again, of course.
Good. That's 4 times in 4 weeks. You used the same method?
Yes, well, I just told them that he was a ticket of leave man. You know, it always works. But what about this letter of credit, eh?
Now Bob Brierly's going to help me to the biggest job I've tackled in my life. Gibson's safe.
Yes, and I think that we had him in Gibson's office, you know. Oh, you're a fool, Tiger, ever to let him get away.
You think so? I had to break down his honesty first.
Yes, but you didn't tackle him right. You should have blackmailed him.
You be quiet. Don't interfere with my business. Come in.
Why, if it isn't my dear little May.
Mr. Pybus, could you spare me a few moments?
But certainly. Come into my private office. It's all right, Solomon. I shan't need you any more now.
Mr. Pybus, you were once good enough to offer me your help.
Of course. It's always my pleasure to help my dear little May Edward. Now sit down and tell me all about it.
It's about Bob. He's lost his job again. The 4th during this last month.
He's hardly a criminal.
Oh, he's not a criminal, but everyone in the world seems to be conspiring to try and make him one.
But you still have faith in him, eh?
Yes, but... Oh, Mr. Pybus, I'm so frightened.
Why?
He's desperate. Only last night he was saying, what's the use of trying to be honest when the only thing that's left seems to be a life of crime?
Dear, did he say that?
Yes, and I'm terrified that in the end he'll be driven to it.
If he does resume a life of crime, will you still feel the same for him?
Oh, I don't know. I love him now because I know him to be innocent, but if he really did become a criminal, I don't know.
I see. And so in the end, my dear little May Edwards is driven to her faithful Mr. Pybus, eh?
Yes.
And if I do help you, what reward are you going to give me?
Reward?
Yes. Just another little kiss, eh? There, don't be frightened. You've earned my help. At 8 o'clock tonight, you must send Bob Brierly to the Bellevue Gardens.
The Bellevue Gardens? But that was where he...
Yes. Tell him my messenger shall meet him there.
I can never thank you enough.
Wait until later before you thank me. And don't forget tonight at 8 o'clock, at the same table, and he must be alone. Ugly! You call me, sir? Yes. I want you to go out and buy me a gallon of paraffin oil. Be quick about it. See, there's 4 shillings. You can keep the change. At once, sir.
What are you doing?
The Good Samaritan Help Society is no more.
What are you saying? The most best-paying business that is in London?
Tonight I robbed Gibson's safe. There's enough money in that to keep me at ease for the rest of my life. I'm through.
What about me? What about my new fortune?
Do as you like. Run your own risk. Do your own dirty work. I'm finished.
Wait a minute. You can't break with me as easy as that, Tiger.
I've broken with you already.
Now, easy. I know a thing or two about you, Tiger. A thing or two that Mr. Hawkshaw would be only too glad to know.
Why, Melton, would you turn on your old friend?
Well, not if he didn't turn on me, I wouldn't.
Well, I was only joking. You think I'd rob you of your share of the profits? Shake hands. You dirty little rat! You're blind! Bring it here, my boy. Bring it here. Now, sprinkle it over those papers. Soak them well. Soak them well. That's right. Now light it.
The tiger, it'll burn the house down.
Of course it'll burn the house down. But do as I say. Light it. Light it.
Yes, it is burning the house down, and you will melt with it. The other door's locked too.
Tiger! Let me out! Let me out!
Why don't you try the window, Ugly? It's only 5 flights up.
This is the table.
Any order, sir?
No.
You can't sit at a table unless you place an order, sir.
I'm waiting for somebody.
Very good, sir.
Cheer up, Bob. I'm sure everything will be all right in the end.
May, I'm desperate. Even if I get this job, it'll be discovered I'm a ticket of leave man and I'll lose it again.
But how will it be discovered?
Oh, someone will tell them. The same person that told my last 4 employers that I'd been in prison.
Who can it be?
I believe it's the tiger. I believe he's dogged my footsteps ever since I came to these gardens. If only I can meet him face to face.
The tiger's the worst criminal in London.
I know. He's trying to make me a criminal, too. May, if I lose this job, I'm finished with honesty.
Oh, Bob, don't say that.
Well, what's the use? No one believes you. Why fight against the stream?
Come along, Miss Edwards. Time for your song.
Oh, Bob, I beseech you, don't give up hope.
Come along, Miss Edwards, quick.
Good luck, my dear.
Ah, my young friend, you possess the virtue of punctuality, I see.
Theophilus, wait.
Same the same.
I was expecting a message from Mr. Pybus.
And you shall have it.
You know Mr. Pybus?
Oh, intimately.
What's the message?
Merely that he regrets he is unable to help you. The employer he had in mind has been put out by your record.
Same old story.
What can I get you, sir?
Have a drink.
What's the good of a drink?
2 sherry cobblers.
Very good, sir.
A drink, my young friend, puts heart into you when you're down and out. And you look down and out, are you?
Yes.
That's the worst of trying to be honest.
It's you and people like you that make it difficult to be.
Of course we do. I gave it up long ago.
You're right. I'm tempted to give it up now.
That's the spirit. Now listen to me. I'll tell you how you can make your fortune. I tell you there's enough money in that safe to set you up for life.
But to rob Mr. Gibson, who was so good to me.
Your order, sir?
Thank you. Thank you. You may keep the change.
Thank you, sir.
Was it goodness just because I told him you're a ticket of lead man to sack you for nothing and leave you to starve?
But to rob him?
What of it? He's a bill broker. He's robbed others for years.
I can't do it.
Then how are you going to live? You'll never keep an honest job. Besides, honesty doesn't pay, does it? It won't buy you food or keep your girl, will it? I tell you, to make your fortune, it's a big job. One of the biggest. Because the man who's handling it is the greatest criminal in London.
The man who's handling it?
The tiger.
What?
The tiger himself.
If I come with you, I'll meet him there?
You will?
I'm on.
Good. At last you're showing some common sense. Come on.
Just a moment. There's something I must do first.
What is it?
I'll say goodbye to my girl.
We've no time.
All right, I'll send her a note.
You mean you're finished with her forever?
Of course. I've made up my mind, but she's too prim and proper to understand. Goodbye forever. You will never see me again. Bob.
Any further orders, gentlemen?
No. Now take this note and give it to Miss Edwards directly she's finished the song.
Certainly, sir. Go to Mr. Gibson's office and wait for me.
Yes, Mr. Hawkshaw. It's a good idea of yours, Brierly, to come by the churchyard. You'll make a first-class criminal with practice.
Thanks for the compliment.
Everything's as quiet as a grave. Come here, Brierly. You see that?
Yes.
Do you know what it is?
Newly dug grave.
Yes. And if you try any tricks on me, they have been dug for you. Now, which is the window?
That one.
Then up you go.
What about the tiger?
Never mind the tiger. He'll look after himself. Up you go. Give me the bag.
Any sign of Mr. Gibson?
Not yet, sir.
Take a good look at me, my friend. I'm the tiger, you.
Theophilus Wade, the tiger? The man who's ruined my life.
Yes, but the man who's going to make you a fortune.
You've been the cause of all my suffering, and now you've brought me to this.
What's the matter with you? Trying to blackmail me for an extra share?
There'll be no share. This is the moment I've been waiting for. Face to face with the tiger at last. I'm honest, and not all your devilry can drive me to a life of crime. You've done everything in your power to break me. But now, thank heaven, you're in my power, and you who'll be broken. That note I sent to me, Edward, which you thought was a farewell, was telling her to warn Mr. Gibson. And I'll have the satisfaction of handing a tiger over to justice.
No, not yet.
Mr. Gibson, at last.
We came as quickly as we possibly could.
You brought the keys up?
Yes, here we are. Come along.
You're not going to leave me here. Where are we?
Through the window. Come on, then. You come with me this way.
Stand back. Every man jack of you. First one that takes one pace forward gets a bullet in his body. So you thought that you could catch the tiger, did you? Well, you fools, he'll be a match for you, even when he's in his grave.
His neck is broken.
Bob, he's dead.
Joe Skerritt, you are avenged. And so shall perish all who fall foul of Hawkshaw the detective.
Now, look, he's opening his eyes.
Is that Mr. Gibson?
Yes?
You wouldn't trust me, sir. I was not ungrateful. You see, there may be some good left in the ticket of leave, man. After all.